in preparing for today, in the 1980s, there was almost zero commercial satellites launched in the United States. It's now, I'm told, around 10% and growing. What changed that this has become? Is that all SpaceX, or?
It's mostly SpaceX.
Mostly SpaceX.
Yeah. So actually, before the fall of the Soviet Union, the United States used to launch a very high percentage of commercial satellites. In fact, the U.S. was the leader in commercial satellite launch. But with the fall of the Soviet Union, the Russian rocket industry was able to figure out how to be capitalist really fast. And they since the USSR had invested so much money in rocket technology, they actually had really good rockets, and arguably the best rocket technology in the world at the time of the fall of the Soviet Union. So they were able to completely take the commercial launch market away from the United States. So the United States went from, within the course of really just a few years, from being the leader in commercial satellite launch to being non-existent virtually. And then the French with the Ariane, and with a little bit of help from Germany and Italy, put a ton of money into the Ariane 5 rocket, also a good rocket. And the world commercial launch market then became essentially divided between the Russians and the French. The Russians probably having about 3/4 of the business, and the French having about 1/4. And that continued on for quite a while until a few years ago when SpaceX started launching the Falcon 9. And since then, we've steadily increased the share of US-1 missions, and I think we're now about 1/4 of all commercial satellite missions are won by a U.S. company, or really won by SpaceX. And I think we've got a decent shot if we keep at it of achieving a majority of the commercial launch market, of winning over a majority of the commercial launch market. That's I don't want to count chickens before they've hatched, but it's looking increasingly positive that we'll probably we'll probably restore the United States to #1 on commercial launches in the world.